Origin Story Chapter 5, Quests and Wandering Around. It would have been nice if they had made the herb gathering quest easier. This is a realistic part I wish they made less realistic. Oh fuck. Even if I refer to the quest log, it only says rumen herbs are single-stalk plants with 3 jagged leaves growing off of it. I should have asked the NPC if she had a picture, a sample that I could see first. I thought the plants would be a highlight if I looked at them so I would know which ones to pick. Technically they do, but it's not just the plants I have to pick for the quest. All the plants that are possible to be gathered highlight on site. The plants aren't named, just labeled unknown herb. I actually have to carefully look and try to determine the differences. I bet I need some sort of talent to be able to see their names. Well, it won't hurt to bring back souvenirs for Chi and Joe, so I don't worry about what things are and pluck some of everything. I need a level scavenge anyway. Annoyingly, the area to find the woodcutter to hand over the lunchbox is also vague. Looking at the map, I can see where the honey forest is, and I can see where the edge of the forest meets the other surrounding regions, but even so, the woodcutter is working on the edge of the honey forest. Is too vague, isn't it? I was initially alternating between enhanced seeing and enhanced hearing to level sharp senses, but now I'm using them to try to find the woodcutter. The CDs for both skills... cooldowns. Fuck it, I'll just say CDs. CDs for both... CD means cooldown. The CDs for both skills are 5 minutes after the skill ends, but since each of them lasts for 10 minutes, so I can continuously alternate between them. Since each of them lasts, so I can. Ooh, since and so. Yeah, that's a little redundant, saying since and so. It could be, but each of them lasts, so I can, or each of them lasts, so I, yeah, but since they last, I can. Since and so, that's redundant. Author Selma, if you're listening. I will pass on enhanced smelling this time. I mean, it's not like a big deal, it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna notice those little things. Let's see, opening my item bag, it looks like I've been devastating the Low Valley's wildlife. The contents of my item bag are 42 rabbit furs, 12 unknown herbs type 1, 10 unknown herbs type 2, 22 unknown herbs type 3, 5 unknown flowers type 2, 12 wolf fangs, 3 bird eggs, 22 chickenette feathers, plus the lunchbox. I still have 13 slots open. The item bag in this game is the type where you have 20 slots to begin with, and then you add different sized bag additions, up to 5 bag additions to increase the number of slots you have, though I don't know where you get those bag additions. By the way, I think the herbs I need for my quest are unknown herbs type 3. I only needed 10, so I technically didn't need to gather any more, but I do want to level scavenge quickly to get better animal mob drops. Ka-thud, ka-thud. Oh! I catch the faintest sound of an axe being swung in a tree in the distance. I hope that's the woodcutter. What? Whoa. Looking at the overworld map, if the woodcutter is in the direction I hear the axe, I have gone very out of the way, haven't I? Oh, thank you. I was wondering whether I should return to the village to get my lunch today, but you have helped me out a lot. There's no problem. I wanted to take a look around the forest, so I just happened to be going in the same direction. Kind of. Though I ended up going in a huge figure 8 to get here, but we don't need to talk about that. The person I'm speaking to is the woodcutter NPC, Frayed. Frayed. We're talking pleasantly, but somehow... By the way, is something the matter? Is something the matter? Huh? What do you mean? Sorry if I'm wrong. You just seem kind of nervous. Frayed scratched his head, and a nervous smile spread across his face. It's not much, but recently the howls of the wolves have been bothering me. Oh, are they showing up more often? Although that doesn't appear to be the case, I only ran into 2 packs of wolves while I ran into many chicken-type wild animals. Maybe it's strange that the wolves travel in pack these days. Packs. That was my bad. No, it's not. No, it's nothing. Just my imagination. I'm sure, but here I am, letting it affect me like a fool. I smell the next question in the chain. No, tell me about it. Even if it's a little, telling someone takes the stress off a bit. Well then, lately there's been a kind of weird howl late at night. Kind of like a wolf's howl, but it's not quite like a wolf or a werewolf. It's... Frayed made an uncomfortable face. Something... otherworldly? The woodcutter NPC nodded his head. Oh, she said that. Something otherworldly? The woodcutter... otherworldly? The woodcutter NPC nodded his head, embarrassed. I see. It won't be much trouble for me to take a look late at night. I'm ashamed to push my random worries on a complete stranger. Don't worry about it. I only ask to satisfy my own curiosity. But while we're talking about night in this forest, what are the things that differ from it during the day? I continue hunting in Honey Forest until the sun goes down. In this game, the day-night cycle goes for 3.5 hours of real time, so even the Osans who work a normal day job can play during different times. That just means there's definitely different things that come out during the night cycles. Of course, there are some players grumbling about it, but you can't have more realism without, well, more realism, so they'll just have to deal with time-relevant quests. It's now dusk in the game world, and the bees have stopped swarming me every time I go to pick up the honeycombs stuck on the trees. Sure, honeycombs aren't just randomly stuck in the side of trees like this in real life. Like this real life? Is real life? Like this is real life. But bees aren't the size of medium-sized dogs in real life either. It's getting dark, but I can turn on my ambient light, which lets me see a little bit clearer in the dark. According to the tooltip, the ambient light only works in the overworld, though. The animals in the forest begin to switch over to nighttime crowd, and the game time officially switches to night. I cancel enhanced seeing and activate enhanced hearing. Let's see if I can find the woodcutter's ghost wolf. While I'm at it, I finish the quest for the female florist NPC for finding nightbloom flowers. I didn't have to go back to the village to get it. When talking to Frade the woodcutter, he mentioned the florist was looking for nightbloom flowers, and the grocer was looking for some mushrooms, and I acquired 2 quests that way. So there's a way to get quests without having to return to the village! I don't know how many times I've had to go back through the same area just because I didn't progress all the quest chains in the most optimal timing in past games. It was right when I began to puzzle over where I should go to find the mushrooms when I heard it. A strange, trembling wolf cry out in the middle of the forest. It doesn't sound normal, but it also doesn't really sound that scary. Or like, is it just some sick wolf or something? Something seems wrong about the situation, but once I get over there, I'll see what's going on. It's not like anyone's getting hurt, I'm just having fun! Seriously, what a disappointment. The culprit of the wolf noises that was haunting the woodcutter was a bratty little kid, howling like a wolf in a strange cavern that echoed funny. He said he was doing it because he thought it was funny how Frade the woodcutter was so jumpy. You little brat. How did he get here all by himself in a forest full of wolves? Well, it's actually not too far from the village. If you come straight from the village, climbing up the ledges instead of going around and following the path. Since I was meandering through the woods, it felt really far to me. Anyway, I totally didn't notice that the ledges were climbable, since there were bushes and shrubbery all along them, disguising the climbable parts as being this part of the side of the cliff. To finish the quest, I have to either get Benny the village kid to stop doing this, or let the woodcutter know about the culprit. I'm not doing anything wrong! Even without me saying anything, the little boy stomps his feet and glares at me while saying that overused phrase. This kid is brattier than Toru in his worst years, but I'm not an older sister for nothing. Oh, so since you're not doing anything wrong, I should go tell the village guards. Oh, no, I should tell your mom! A brat like you out in the middle of a dangerous forest all alone at night, I'm sure she'd like to know. Of course you told your mom, right? Well, I have to tell Frade's son, too, since he asked me to find out what's making that noise. Since I'm not doing anything wrong, you don't have to tell anyone anything. No, since you're not doing anything wrong, it doesn't matter if I tell them, right? No, don't! I made him cry. By threatening to tell on him, his own sense of guilt has him crying. Just putting it out there, it wasn't my habit to pick on Toru until he cried when we were younger. Oh, sorry, that was more of a... I voiced that wrong. I waited until Benny quieted down a little, reduced to sniffles and hiccups. The NPCs are way too realistic, nah. So, why are you being bad? Because I didn't tell Mommy and snuck out of the house even though Daddy told me not to. And I'm being mean to Frade Ojo-san. Oji-san. What's Ojo-san? It's like a princess kind of thing, right? Not exactly what I was asking, but okay. That's right, but you admitted to it. And if you aren't bad anymore and go home right now, I won't tell. You've only been lucky that you haven't run into any wolves, you know? I found 10 of them on the way over. Really? Benny's face, that was red from crying, now goes just a little pale. Well, I fought those wolves coming from a different direction than the village, but I didn't lie. That's right, even if you're close to the village, it's still not 100% safe, so you shouldn't come out at night without someone else anymore. Okay. Then he climbs down the ledges back to the village while I watch and make sure he reaches it safely. I have a clear view all the way down the slope, after all. It would have been disastrous if it turned out that this was supposed to be an escort quest and I just turned around and left. Thinking about how it's a quest and how he'll still be here, doing this kind of kills the moment. Oh yeah, it is a quest. So he'll just go back and then other people... No, well, Origin Story did think about that and put some of these types of quests, NPCs, in dynamic layers, so I won't see him anymore. But thinking about how he's technically still out here at night for other players... The quest log shows that this quest is complete, but I'm totally still unsatisfied. Time for some more night hunting. I finally climbed up so high, the long way, so it would be a waste if I didn't continue to explore this forest. Although, now that I know about climbing the ledges, it would technically be easy to get back here from the village. This part of the honey forest has overgrown rock outcroppings. Sorry, I didn't see the hyphen there. Overgrown rock outcroppings set up to look like dens of animals or mini caves or something. They're really small, or else I would have tried to get in them. All of a sudden, I came out of the trees and into a clearing, surrounded by trees, and yet there weren't any trees or other foliage in the clearing. As soon as I set foot in, a chill went up my spine. I quickly looked around in the eerily still clearing. Was it my imagination? Probably not. I can hear the wind whistling, but there's no wind, is there? Huh? Right from behind me I hear a throaty, raspy howl, as if it was let loose right behind my ear, but when I suddenly turned suddenly to look, nothing is there but the trees and moonlight. Okay. Still looking behind me, I take a step forward while gripping my axe. As I turn my head to face forward again, something dark with colorless, glowing eyes is looking me right in the face. I jump back, and at the same time, the dark thing took its distance as well. A wolf. No, an enormous wolf head, giving off wispy, smoky, dark tendrils that had glowing, blank eyes, snarled, let out an eerie howl, then charged forward directly at me. I completely gave up on correcting mistakes. I actually haven't made any large mistakes. It's, a couple words wrong, whatever. Damn it! Fine then, bring it! Watch for the timing. When it was an axe length in front of me, I swung out, then spun out of the way right as it sped by. But it made a really unnatural turn. It dodged with very eerily unnatural maneuvers and continued to attack me. Okay then, this time I'll take you head on. Holding my ground, I dig in, grit my teeth, and swing right as it rushes through me. Shit, physical attacks are ineffective. That being said, I didn't lose any HP, so it's not doing any damage either. Just when I thought that, my vision starts shaking. The ambient light dims, and I start to breathe heavily. What the hell's going on? I click my tongue. My vision is clouded, my senses have all dulled. But I know that bastard is out there. Somehow, he's the one giving me this awful gut-twisting feeling. Swinging my axe toward the darker shadows as they flickered across my vision. I don't know how many minutes this nauseating sensation lasted, when all of a sudden... Aye! With a really strange yelp, I lose my balance. The ground beneath me disappears, and down I go. Painful jolt knocks me to my senses, and I lay there panting for a moment. What the hell just happened? I see. Somehow I must have slipped and fallen into this ravine here. Fall damage is not a lot, but it's noticeable. My HP is down by 10%. Despite the shallow fall, I wonder if I took a little bit more damage because I didn't brace myself at all and landed flat on my back. This might be something to look into later. I carefully peek up over the side of the ravine. The wolfly ghost is gone, but look at all the destruction I caused. The marks on the trees are kinda deep, and the brush has been hacked off all over, littering the area. It should reset by in-game warning, but it looks like someone went crazy and just went at it. Ah, right, that was me. But what happened? I scroll through my combat log. Oh, a fear bad status. What? Yeah, that was a pretty damn realistic feeling. Fear bad status. Fear bad status. Status of fear bad. I was really freaked out, although it looks like when I'm under the influence of fear, yeah, the status is fear, bad status. Oh, fear status, bad. It's not too different from being under the influence of berserk, huh? No, I did think to run away to get away from that feeling, but somehow the idea of being chased didn't feel so good, didn't feel too good. I think that's the wrong two. 95% sure that's the wrong 2. Well, thinking about it now, physical attacks didn't work, so I really should have run away. Oh well, no use worrying about it now. More importantly, there's this cave-looking hole in front of me, down here in the ravine, though. It's kind of making a dangerous go-go-go rumbling sound, and there's also a kind of wailing sound mixed in. All in all, it seems like a really bad idea. But, you know, if there's a mountain, you should climb it. If there's a cave... I only hesitate long enough for my HP to recover before I plunge into the cave. And now I'm coming back out of the cave. It hasn't even been 5 minutes. No good. It's completely pitch black. Even though I finally found something really fun, if I can't see anything, what's the point in exploring? Well, there's some thrill trying to make it through a cave with no lights, but in a VRMMO, since there's fall and collision damage, not being able to see even a hand in front of your face can turn things into a survival game. Of all the places where the player's ambient light is extinguished. Not to mention there's an eerie whistling wind going through the cave. Within it, faintly, just very, very faintly, you can hear that ghost wolf's howl. Yeah, this isn't going too well in the dark. Going to go well in the dark. That's the correct 2. I'm going to need something to see where I'm going. Although floundering around in the dark has its attractions in a haunted house, with that fear-inducing specter wolf hanging around, it's not just a haunted house. It's more like, a death trap? Anyway, it's going to go from scary to disastrous if I can't see. But it's already 3 AM in the real world, huh? Shit. I could really use a cig right about now. I guess I'll head back to the village and log out. Right, she's a smoker. Huh. Kind of forgot about that. Talents. Axe level 6 plus 3. Still not sure if I want to do the plus 3 part. Also, I might as well mention, yeah, this episode's going out a day late because I completely forgot about it. You know, when I do it every week, I don't always remember when the time comes. I should, though. I should get better at doing that. Also, I'm recording this with my computer because I wanted to see if I could, and I think it works. And the video recording program I use actually had an extension that lets you record your screen, so that's what I'm doing. And about halfway through, my mouse stopped functioning because it does that every now and then. I need to unplug it and plug it back in, but I didn't want to fiddle with that, so I switched to the buttons, and that's what that pause there was. But yeah, Axe level 6. If you want to see how much it's increased, that's what that plus means. I just don't like saying plus because it feels more like an addition. Like, that's not level 9, that's level 6. It's just gone up by 3. Bolstered Endurance level 4, Sharp Sense level 5, Scavenge level 4, Spirit of the Wild Hunt level 3, Inheritance of the Forest Guardian level 3. Extra, about the game part 2. Benny. He is designed after a certain developer's bratty kid cousin. Although he's a very dynamic character that all the testers claimed felt very much like dealing with an actual bratty child, he was made to be easily reduced to tears so that the devs didn't have to come up with his Benny responses. Quest information. How to indicate quest locations is something all developers must strongly consider. On one hand, you don't want to just have flashing lights to break out of a game immersion, while on the other, you don't want to frustrate your players into never finishing quests. OriginStory handles this by leaving a lot of this to conversations with NPCs. Asking the NPC to point out a location on the map or describe the area better, there are a lot of ways you can make your search in the world easier. The NPCs can also describe the objective in more detail, show you a picture of things that you're looking for, and all sorts of various things that can help you with the quest, if you ask the right questions. Unfortunately, even with the plot armor of being the MC, Narumi hasn't learned how to tap into this extra help just yet. Her impulsiveness has cost her quite a bit of wandering in the valley and forest around the eastern starting village. However, as she's realizing, the NPCs know more than just the quests they are directly involved in. Although the typical way to gain most quests is to start from the quest giver, most gathering quests, and some other types of quests, can be done in one of 3 ways. Taking the quest from the NPC that needs the work done, overhearing it from another NPC, having already done the work, and taking the quest from the relevant NPC and completing the quest immediately. And again, there are also quests where there is no information available until you need to complete the quest. Till you happen to complete the quest. So if you just randomly do something and then somebody's like, oh shit, I needed those, thanks. It's a bit of an author note there if you want to give that a read. I already did my reader note. So, what hotkey did I set to stop recording? I think it's this one. Oh, let me do this thing.